Was that a do it? Hey, Frank. I'm sorry. So now we have to turn this on. All right, so thank you for everybody coming to the ordinance administration committee meeting Monday, March 3rd, 2025. I just want to let anybody know that's online tonight that we will not be taking up the roadsides matter. We're going to postpone this for 2 weeks. We have some new information coming in from Bruce Starr and the state and things that we want to work on. So we will not be taking up the roadsides tonight. It'll be 2 weeks from tonight. So if you came, I'm sorry to let you know early, but I just want to tell you now that we're not going to be hearing that tonight. So on the agenda and what's going on in front of us, we have Councilor Frank Majota. We have Councilor Marjorie Grace. We have myself, Councilor Nolan. And in attendance, we have Councilor President Tony Gross. We have Pam Toby from the mayor's office. We have Councilor at Large Val Gilman. And we have, give me a second here to play with what's going on. We have our CAO, Jill Hayhill. And so we're going to start the meeting off now with boards and committees and commissions. And first up, we have the Affordable Housing Trust. We have Stephen Volz, who is here tonight. Steve, you just want to tell us a little bit about yourself and why you want to be on the Affordable Housing Trust Committee. That's not you.
That's not me.
Nope,
Stephen
yeah,
Volz.
Yost, yes. Sorry.
I know Stephen.
All right, I don't see Steve. I do know Steve. I have no problem putting him through. The full council, if there's not any objections,
You can vote for him. I'm okay with that.
not a problem. So, Councilor Majota, would you like to read the motion?
Committee recommendation moves to recommend the city council appoint Stephen Volz to the Affordable Housing Trust. Term ending 2/16/28, and I so move.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, excellent. So that wins to the council 3-0. Next up for the Clean City Commission, we have Walt Condola. Can we bring Walt in? He's not here, he's online.
Oh, there he is. I'm sorry.
Do you want my computer, Frank?
I think I have to do it.
Yep.
Hey, should be good.
Hi, can you hear me?
Hi, Walt, how you doing tonight?
Good. How are you, Sean? Good to see you.
I can't complain. I'm glad to see you jump up. You're a very important person with a great mind.
Well, thank you. That's a tough one to live up to, but I appreciate the support.
If you just want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. So I've been in Gloucester since 2010. I have a small mom and pop auction company right now. We do all online auctions. And, somebody in the business of auctions, I'm kind of, I'm gravitated to recycling, keeping things clean, reusing things. So Hugo Burnham reached out to me online and said, hey, you might be a good fit for the Clean City Commission. I thought it was a pretty good idea, so I attended last week's meeting. I would be there in person tonight with you guys, except we were supposed to have a meeting there tonight, so I opted to Zoom in, but they canceled their meeting. Barnaby kind of got the room mixed up and somebody else was using the room. So yeah, but anyways, there's a lot to do in Gloucester and everywhere, trying to keep things clean and, reduce the trash in the, I know there's a lot of concern about it. I'm like everybody else, I'm tired of seeing things dumped on the side of the road and, our DPW, I think, does a great job, but it's a big task and I'm hoping in some small way at least that I can help with that.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Walt. Do we have any questions from any of the counselors or comments?
Well, no, it was no questions, just listening to you. You seem very enthusiastic about joining the Gloucester Clean City Commission. And I know that with you and the team there, you guys will have a lot of great ideas to help keep Gloucester clean. So thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Counselor Grace.
Thank you so much for being willing to volunteer your time to such an important mission in the city to keep it clean and shiny. So thank you so very much. And you seem like you'd be a great fit to the team.
And Walt's
Oh,
business.
thank you.
Listen, my word.
Yeah, he's got a beautiful painting on the side of his
That's
building.
me.
Well, I'll say maybe, I think maybe 14, 15 years ago. And you're a stand-up guy. You've been very community involved with all kinds of aspects of things. And I couldn't be happier to support you on this tonight. And thank you for stepping up.
Oh, thank you.
And with that being said, Counselor Grace, do we have a committee report?
To recommend that the city council appoint Walter Calenda to the Gloucester Clean City Commission term to end on 2/16/2028, and I so move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Walt, have you been sworn in yet?
No, not yet. As I understand it, there's another meeting that I need to attend March 11th at 6:30 PM. And again, that might run into another that might be a rescheduled Clean City Commission if Barnaby reschedules it, but I can make that one by Zoom. In fact, I think that one's going to be at the Rose Baker Senior Center where we plan to have our next meeting.
Excellent. If you could stop in anytime during the week and get sworn in, that'd be excellent. And we look
Okay.
forward to seeing you next Tuesday night.
Okay, City Hall?
Yes, the clerk's
Okay, great.
office.
I'll do that.
Excellent. Thank you, Walt.
All right, thanks a lot. Take care, guys.
Take care.
Okay, so next up on the planning board, Steve, I'm sorry to confuse
Yes.
you with the other Steve, long week.
Spell our names the same way.
So, so Steve Yost, for the planning board, term to end 2/16/2028. Steve, you just want to tell us a little bit about yourself and why you want to be on the board?
Sure, we've been in Gloucester for about 10 years in Magnolia, and I recently got involved with Housing for All Gloucester. I think the way I first was introduced was through Stephen Volz, actually. I went to a meeting at, a public meeting, and Stephen was surprisingly there to meet. He also rows in the rowing club that I row in. So he sort of got me involved, and I've been very interested in that. I've always been interested in city planning and civic kinds of activities. I'm on the board of the Magnolia Library. I'm doing volunteer work with GMGI, both as a research assistant and a mentor to the students at the Biotech Academy. And I started attending the long range planning, the comprehensive planning meetings as well, the public workshops, which was just great. And I had the privilege to sit with Greg and others, Beverly Bookin, at the same table on our workshop table. And so I was bending Greg's ear, like, so what is this planning all about? What does a planner do? So I was very fascinated by it. And a few months later, Greg actually said, if you're interested in being on the planning board, I'm happy to talk to you about it. So it was back in, I think it was November, December, and I met with him in his office and had a good interview about that. And then sadly, Hank passed in January, and so there was this really obviously vacant position to be filled. I can't fill Hank's shoes from what I know, but I'll probably be going barefoot for a while. Anything else you'd like to know?
Excellent. Do we have any council questions? We'll start with Councilor Grace.
Just as we say to everybody that's willing to put in their time, their energy, their intelligence, their expertise, and they're basically blood, sweat, and tears when it comes to the planning board. You've got your work cut out for you. I think it's probably one of the hardest working boards that we have. So your willingness to put yourself out there we really truly appreciate it.
Thank you.
You don't need to worry about them. You're gonna have to choose yours are just fine.
Councilor Majota.
Very well said. It's always hard to just follow. But yeah, like Marcia Grace, Council Grace said, it's a very hard board to be part of, and one that there's a lot going on, especially with the 3A. So there's a lot to get people the information needs to get out there and everything else that the planning board does. So I think you'd be a great fit, and you definitely have my support.
Thank you.
Excellent. And Steve, the work you do at the Magnolia Library is excellent.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
I was on the board for 6 years,
Oh, wow.
and when I joined the council, I had to make a decision. I wrote Alana Horn into taking my place, and she never lets me forget that. So it's a great committee. GMGI is absolutely wonderful, and I think that is something that most residents of the city of Gloucester have no idea how powerful that is for us. And what we can get out of it as a community of the ocean, the amount of students that actually go through there and
Right.
learn things.
Mm.
It's astonishing, and obviously, you know, Lisa McGallo and, you know, people, and Ann Margaret's a huge backer of it. It's wonderful, and again, as far as the community housing, it looks like I'm gonna see you on March 19th at the Magnolia Library
Yes.
for a
just organized.
meeting
Yeah.
for 3A,
Mhm.
which I look forward to.
Me too.
And I'm pretty excited about this. And again, this is a very, very powerful board. It takes a lot of dedication to work, and you gotta follow the law. And there's a lot of conservation and board of health stuff that falls through. And all we can always ask is to be gentle, kind, and honest
Mm.
with the people, because a lot of people will show up not knowing what's gonna happen and
Mhm.
don't understand the law. Especially if they did a project 20 years ago and they hire a carpenter to do something, and they're not sure that there are steps now that you have to do. But those steps are to ensure the safety of everybody involved and the protection to our environment. So I'm proud to support you on this. With that being said, Council Majota, can we get a recommendation?
Committee recommendation move to recommend the city council appoint Steve Yost to the planning board, term ending 2/16/28, and I so moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, excellent. Steve, have you been sworn in?
I have not, and it's on my schedule to show up at 6:30 on the 11th.
Yeah, and we should have someone there.
Okay.
Lines will probably be there to swear you in, and we look forward to seeing you then.
Great.
Thank you very much. You can stay all night if you want, or you can leave.
All right.
It's up to you. We're gonna be going into short-term rentals in just a little bit. That might
Yes, I
interest
did
you.
have some interest in that, so thank you. Thank
Excellent.
you very much.
We do have Council Worthley here, is now on board,
Council Benson.
and Council Benson, sorry.
It's okay.
I didn't recognize that beautiful Ukraine hat. And again, if anybody's here for the road and sides, we're not hearing that tonight.
Oh, no?
No, we are postponing it for 2 weeks. We had a discussion with a group of other people that were here.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna be bringing this back in 2 weeks.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Excellent, not a problem. So next up, we have Kaylin O'Meally for the Watersburg Waterways Board, term to end 2/16/28. I do not see Kaylin here. Kaylin is a friend of mine. He's a fisherman that works out of St. Peter's.
No, he's at the state there.
State Pier, sorry. And you probably know his father, Kevin O'Malley, worked for the school department for years before he went to Manchester. I have no problem putting him through to the full council without any objection.
Objection.
No objection.
Alrighty, so with that being said, Council Grace, would you like to make a recommendation?
Committee recommendation move to recommend that the city council appoint Kellen O'Malley to the Waterways Board, term to end on 2/16/2028, and I so move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, excellent. And next up, Frank, if you could bring Larry Oakes. It's for the Affordable Housing Trust, Larry Oakes, term to end 2/16/2027, and this is on a reappointment. Evening.
Hi there, can you hear me?
Hey Larry, how you doing tonight?
Okay, nice to see you all.
How's the Affordable Housing Trust treating you?
It was a great first term. Thanks for asking. We got a lot of work done and that felt great.
Excellent. Is there anything you want to tell us about yourself before we go for your reappointment?
Sure. As mentioned, I've done my first term as the chair of the trust, which was a great experience. I've lived in Gloucester now for, well, most of my life, really. I was born here. My family arrived a long, long time ago. And then I really moved here full time with my wife and two boys 10 years ago. And I've just really enjoyed being full-time year-round residents, and kids went to the high school and enjoyed that. And so I run a nonprofit organization that is focused on housing, affordable housing specifically. So it's been my career for almost 30 years working in the affordable housing world. So it's a good fit for me to get engaged on the trust in Gloucester as a way to kind of give back to the community, which I like to do. So I used to be on the Wellspring board, and I was on the board of Backyard Growers as well. Yeah, so being plugged into the community is important to me, and I guess that's really the reason that I do it.
Excellent. Larry, thank you very much.
Yeah,
You've been all over the place. I think you found your home though. You've done a wonderful job with this. Is there any questions from the council? We'll start with Councilor Majota.
No, Larry, I believe that, you were in front of the, ONA when we appointed you last time, so you definitely have my approval again, and it's a lot of work. You guys got a lot of work done, and there's still a lot of work to do. So you have my support, and just hope that the Affordable Housing Trust keeps moving forward and to, do what you guys do. So thank you.
you're welcome. We will.
Excellent. Councilor Grace.
Larry, thanks so much for your continuing dedication to this community. The Affordable Housing Trust is certainly, something that is even so much more important now than, in years past, where it is such a huge issue in this community for people, particularly our younger generation, to be able to stay here. So your work towards, trying to help that in any way, shape, or form is truly appreciated. So thank you once again, and you absolutely have my support.
Thank you.
Larry, the Affordable Housing Trust has been a huge part of the city for a long time. It's becoming more and more prevalent in the need that we have. We have gotten some ARPA money, and obviously we always try to go through some CPA stuff. It's a board that there's a ton of great ideas. It's funding is that we need to make things happen. But you guys find a way of balancing that out to make it work to the best of your ability. So that's a thank you and to the entire board for what you do, and I will be supporting you as well tonight. With that being said, Councilor Majota, do we have a recommendation?
Committee recommendation, move to recommend that the city council reappoint Larry Oakes to the Affordable Housing Trust, term ending 2/16/27, and I so move.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, Larry, have you been sworn in?
Do I need to do that on a reappointment? If not, if I do, I will stop into City Hall this week.
You do need to be reappointed.
Okay.
You can make it next week. That's not a problem. You're certainly known to us. And thank you for your service.
You're welcome. Thanks for reappointing me.
So thank you for your work.
Okay.
All right. So next up, we have CC 2025-01A Worthley, amend the GCO Chapter 14, offenses and miscellaneous provisions, Article 1, in general by adding new subsection 14 through 18th, use of rodicides in second generation anticoagulant rodicides or SGARs on public property. This will be continued until 2 weeks. Thank you very much.
May I ask one question on that?
Yes.
Is there something that I can do to be helpful? There's a new question. I walked in and I heard it was gonna be continued, but wasn't aware of that, so.
Yeah. I'll talk to you after the meeting.
Okay.
Excellent, thank you, Jeff. So next up, we get one that has very little people talking about. CC 2025-005 Worthland to amend GCO Chapter 5 Buildings and Building Regulations, Article 5, Short-Term Rentals, Section 5-64, Definitions, Section 5-66, Requirements for the operation of short-term rentals, subsections H and T in Section 569, Prohibitions, and this was continued from 2/18/25. So we've had discussions on this and we've had questions. And now we're gonna get down to the meat and potatoes. Yes,
We have a quorum.
oh, we do have a quorum. Yes. So we do have a quorum of the city council. Thank you. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna move forward and read the ordinance. And if there's any changes in the ordinance, or amendments, we'll take them as they go. And on this particular place, I believe Marjorie, Councilor Grace, has read the short straw on this, and you're gonna read the first. Okay, but
You have a technically.
Start with committee recommendation.
Mhm.
Okay. Committee recommendation, move to recommend that the city council amend the Gloucester Code of Ordinances, chapter 5, building and building regulations, article 5, short-term rentals, section 5-664, definitions as follows. Primary resident, a residential unit in which an operator resides permanently for at least 6 months out of a 12-month period. Primary residency may only be established by a neutral person or persons and not by LLCs, ad for-profit corporations, partnerships, joint ventures, delete of, ad, or other similar entities, ad, except that dwellings owned by estate planning trust may be considered primary residences based on the proof of residence requirements set forth below. Primary residence shall be demonstrated by showing that as of the dates of usage as a short-term rental and the dates the operator has resided in said residential unit for 6 of the past 12 months, or that the operator intends to reside in the residential unit for 6 of the next 12 months in accordance with the proof of primary residence requirements set forth below. Residential unit, a dwelling as classified under state building code as residential use, as those terms are defined by excluding units that are owned by ad for-profit corporation designated as affordable or otherwise income restricted, a congregate living complex, elderly housing, group residence, homeless shelter, temporary dwelling structure, transitional housing, and auxiliary dwelling unit. This term shall not include hotel, motel, or any other non-residential use and all other accommodations except under General Law, Chapter 64G, Section 2. Continue. Further ordered that the Gloucester Code of Ordinances, Chapter 5, Building and Building Regulations, Article 5, Short-Term Rentals, Section 5-66, requirements of the operation of short-term rentals be amended as follow. E, delete, an operator may only register to operate one dwelling unit as a short-term rental if an operator owns 2 or more properties, owns one, and is listed as a manager or agent for a second that is owned by an LLC, for example, that operator must choose one or the other to be registered as a short-term rental. No operator shall have more than one legal or equitable title or beneficial interest in any dwelling unit, excuse me, used for a short-term rental, except as provided for above. An operator may hire a property management company to list and manage short-term rentals, but the registration must be in the operator's name. Delete H, short-term rental of a non-primary residential unit. Short-term rentals shall not exceed in the aggregate 120 consecutive or non-consecutive calendar days per year when the operator is not occupying the residential unit during the entire term of the short-term rental. Add section 5-66, subsection H, reserved. Delete T, the number of non-primary residential short-term rental units that may be permitted shall be capped at 500. Add section 5-66, subsection T, reserved. Section 5-69, prohibitions. Delete and renumber the subsequent bullets. 1, limitation on short-term rental. Number of short-term rentals, and owner may register to operate only one dwelling unit as a short-term rentals If a person owns or is listed as a manager and or is an agent for two or more dwelling units, that person must choose only one unit to be registered as a short-term rental. No person shall have more than one legal or equitable title or beneficial interest in dwelling units used for short-term rentals, except as provided for above. And if owner may hire or property management company to list and manage short-term rentals, but the registration must be in the owner's name. 2, corporate ownership, short-term rentals are prohibited in dwelling units owned by ad for-profit corporation. Short-term rentals are permitted in dwelling units owned by an LLC, trust, or S corporation only when every shareholder, partner, or member of the legal entity is a natural person as established by documentation provided by the applicant at the time of registration.
Is there any questions on this?
I have some amendments that I'd like to put forth.
Okay, and what are you looking for?
I am looking for an amendment on E, H, I, let's see, E, this is my, and J,
Okay,
and, T. And that's all.
okay. And if you'd like to bring up your amendments, please.
On E, it's just a few changes, it would be to not delete the entire thing, but to change a little bit of word. It would be an operator may only register to operate one ad non-primary dwelling unit as a short-term rental if an operator owns two or more ad non-primary properties, owns one or is listed as a manager or agent for a second that is owned by an LLC, for example. That operator must choose one or the other to be registered as a ad non-primary short-term rental. No operator shall have more than one legal or equitable title or beneficial interest in any dwelling unit used for the short-term rental except as provided for above. An operator may hire a property management company to list and manage the short-term rentals, but the registration must be in the operator's name, ad applicable to units registered after 4/1/2025. And that's the move.
And that's the after.
I'll second that, just so we talk about it.
Sure.
So basically, this is gonna be applicable for anybody that after 4/1/25.
Basically, what it's doing is solidifying the grandfathering of existing registered units through March 31st. Anything from March 31st backwards. They're grandfathered in and nothing would change with them, and any subsequent changes would only apply to permits that were issued after April 1st, 2025, when all of this is set to go into effect.
Okay, so this will be on a vote. It's been seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. No. So that,
Councilman, do you want to allow questions for clarity at least? That
Well,
was about reading it.
we'll bring that up at the full council. So that is gonna be going through on that amendment, 2 in favor, 1 opposed. The next amendment,
Would be in H, short-term rental of non-primary residential unit, short-term rentals. Ad registered after 4/1/2025 shall not exceed the aggregate 120 consecutive or non-consecutive, excuse me, calendar days per year. When the operator is not occupying the residential unit during the entire term of the short-term rental. And that's the move.
and what would your amendment be to that?
This would be basically is grandfathering again. People that are already registered in this, and the 120 days would only apply to new ones that were permitted after April 1st.
Okay. So that's all, so that's gonna change that for anybody changing it for 4/1/25.
I'll second it.
Councilman Noel,
I would,
Council Worthley.
I understand we'll have a chance at the council to ask questions. If it turns out that we have to ask questions that need more review and then send it back to committee, then that kind of defeats the purpose of this review. But I did have a technical question on the amendment. May I ask it?
Yes.
Okay. So where we haven't had registration yet, because they were waiting in the building inspector's office to hire someone. I don't know if it's happened yet. When you say people who haven't registered with the city, right, not the state, the city, before April 1st, is there a capacity for people to register in the next month if we don't have that person hired yet that they're trying to hire to manage that process? So
Can I answer?
I just don't want to promise this is grandfathering when no one has the ability to register.
Can I-
Not for the question.
All right, you are able to ask a question. I'm gonna allow Counselor Gross to answer that.
So it's supposed to be registry with the state. And then after effective date, which got moved to April 4th, they have 180 days to register with the city. And there was no discussion about immediately hiring someone. It's about having the software in place. That was what we were waiting for.
Mhm.
And that's what the building inspector's waiting for. He's having them, they're, right now, they're working on it, but actually, since it's not enacted, it's really hard to open the registration.
I understand that. and
6 months after.
I do know that there is a part of this is supposed to be taking information and find out what's going on. There's a 3-year, grandfather clause. But we also don't have anybody tracking the citywide. I'm just trying to go through what the committee is looking to try to do to go to full council. And figure out what's going on, because I don't want to stall this any further. I want to get it done and over with. And come up with the best outcome. But we do have other stuff that we're thinking about. There are some other questions tonight, and this is more or less trying to move on what the committee has learned from talking to people and where they want to put it and what they're looking to do. And that's where we're gonna move forward at full council.
I appreciate you wanting to move to full council. I think
Mhm.
that's where the final decisions can be made. I just want to make sure that the words you're using align with what your objective is. And so,
Mhm.
and we can certainly question it there and send it back to committee if necessary, but if the goal is to say people who currently operate short-term rentals will be, is it forever grandfathered in? Is that the
Mhm.
goal of this?
That's what
If
Council
they're
Grace
registered with
asked.
the city by April 1st,
Mhm.
But April 1st was the date that we were given, and that can certainly be a fluid date and can be changed.
It should be the state, that they're registered with the state is what the ordinance has said all the way through. I don't know what that amendment said, but it should be the state, that they're registered with the state.
so that was the point I'm trying to understand. Like if we can't get, let's say we vote in 2 or 4 weeks on this, and then it's the end of March. Whether they have a person or software, it's gonna be a rush to try to get people to register if they want to be grandfathered. And I think that their point is if we add in the state or something like that, that will at least give a flexibility for people who are hoping to be grandfathered, who can do this all their lives. I just want to make sure the words, again, this is not questioning the committee's ability to do this, just make sure what you are putting on paper is what you're trying to accomplish. And so I guess the question is, do you want to add state? Do you want to change the deadline? Like, I don't know what the right way to handle it.
So, this is something that's gonna be, a pretty tense meeting when it comes to council. And there's gonna be a lot of opinions. There's a lot of people with opinions on it that are for or against, that are gonna be working on this. And we're trying to take the committee from what they've heard in the past 2 meetings and figure out what they want to do. And then the committee will set it forward to the full council.
Well, I understand, I just make sure the words on the amendment that
Mhm.
was proposed accomplish what Marjorie's.
And Marjorie has her amendment out there, and we've been voting on them as we go. And if she wants to add to her amendment,
I can
Then
amend to
it's-
amend that you add state to it, but also that this is something that we started in, the end of August. So people have had from August till now to register with the state. It's not like this is a surprise that we're pulling out of our back pocket and say, hey, you need to register by this date. There's been many, many months, so.
I agree with you,
I
just
think
the
this is an
state
ample
and
time.
the city differentiate, we don't
Okay.
haven't really had the capacity to register in the city yet.
no,
So.
that's why we're based on the state.
Do we know how many have registered? Like, as of now?
We know of how many people have registered as of the state. I don't have that
State.
number, but the people that are registered by state, they're registered. So basically, what I believe was coming out of Council Grace's here is people that are already doing it, she wants them to be able to keep doing it.
Which I like, yeah, and that's why I agree, I think.
So, it's like Charlie Brown, you know, going up and kicking the football and Lucy pulling it away. It's one of those type of situations. And that's what I believe you're
Yes,
trying to
it's
get
just
at.
to, you know, the people that have been doing this for, you know, however long, that we are not suddenly, you know, in 3 years from now, when their grandfathering ends, then, you know, their entire business model goes to Hades now. So I think it's fair to grandfather in people that have been doing this, but I think we need to put a safeguard in that prevents, you know, there's potential for some growth, but it prevents, an absurd amount of growth. Because that defeats the purpose of what we're trying to do here, which is to make sure that housing, all housing is available for the residents.
All right, so would you like to amend it to add state
Yes.
on this motion?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so we have a motion on the table and
Second.
it's been second, vote,
Yes.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
Could I ask a question? This is much more trivial. I apologize. It's just about the wording, when you're in the definition of terms at the beginning, where it says residential unit. And then the long list of exclusions, I think, from the state building codes definition. And I wonder if it might be clearer if that long comma separated list say something, instead of that, have it say something like, but excluding units that
That's not
fit
before
any
us.
of the following.
Not before us.
We can't,
Sorry,
Yeah.
can't
we
just
talk about it during the public hearing of it.
Okay,
Right, that's not what's before us tonight.
all right,
We would have to have that.
that's fine.
Future, at a future date.
They
and
can
give me a
revert-
call about that.
Yeah, give a
Sure.
email, call
Please.
us.
Yeah, I don't have any vested interest in that. I should have submitted just a suggestion, so I could give a call. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. All right, so your next,
Would be,
Amendment.
J, existing unit, add existing owner occupied and non-owner occupied residential units that hold a valid up-to-date Massachusetts Department of Revenue DOR certificate of registration as of the 4/1/2025 effective date of this article shall be subject to all sections contained therein, except shall not be subject to section 5-66G and 5-66H. This exception shall not transfer with the ownership as defined in section 5-66J, and then delete. Do you want the rest of it read? Which
I
is-
know, it's staying the same.
No, it would be delete from that point down.
Yep.
Okay. And I so move.
Excellent.
I'll second it, just why the change?
Basically, what it's doing is saying, it's just solidifying the grandfathering of people that are existing, they have existing units, and then any of these other regulations, such as the 120 days, would not apply to people that have it registered prior to when this article becomes
Or 4/1/25,
4/1/25, correct,
registered to the state.
correct.
Okay,
May I ask another clarifying question about the last one?
Council Worth.
Heard in there, it shall not transfer, is that part of that?
Mhm.
I just wonder, in the event of a death, do kids not be able to continue renting out a place that their parents had? In the event of a sale, I could see maybe you not wanting to let a new owner, but they need to disclose that, obviously, if someone's buying a property that they think can be rented out, and then it's up to them to do the research, but we probably should have some disclosure, that if you buy $1 million home, and then you say, because part of my plan is I'm gonna rent it out for these months, and then you didn't know that that registration from the prior owner doesn't convey to the next. I just want to make sure it's really clear that we don't put someone else in a jam where they're stuck.
So I would say from the letter that we got from council today, stated about, trusts and family ownerships and things like that, that would include on this, and that would be up to Marjorie and her amendment to include if it
That was
stays.
the part that was in the original amendment.
Right, so
No
if-
change. So, and as far as them, as, any future generations, I would hope that if their parents or grandparents own a short-term rental property and they are inheriting it, then they would know the laws and regulations.
Right, but I think we need to put that in the motion,
and
Yeah.
keep their grandfather for.
that would stay as a as long as it stays in the family, a change of ownership can stay
Okay.
in the family
Right,
as
so I-
opposed to,
I motion to amend my amendment that says that it is non-transferable except for within the family unit.
okay,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
All right, and next,
Is T.
the number of non-primary residential.
So delete the number of non-primary residential short-term rentals units that need to be permitted shall be capped at 500 and add a maximum of 500 permits shall be issued for non-primary residential short-term rental units. And a wait list shall be created for issuing new permits beginning 4/1/2025. Owners of grandfathered non-primary short-term rentals shall not be allowed additional non-primary short-term rentals, and that's so moved.
You have a motion?
I'll second it. Can you explain?
Yep, it just basically, it's rewording that rather than saying it's capped at 500, we have 500 permits. You can think in terms of how we do moorings currently. We have X amount of moorings, and when you want a mooring, you go on the waiting list to get a permit for that mooring. So this would kind of work very similarly where we would have it, and mind you, this is only for non-owner occupied. You know, if you are living in the dwelling and renting out part of it or renting out a room or whatever, or you are, you know, living in it more than 6 months out of the year, it does not apply to you. It is strictly for non-owner occupied. It would be a maximum of 500 permits issued. And you go on the waiting list. And if you currently have, one or more non-owner occupied units, you would not be allowed to be permitted anymore going forward. You are grandfathered for what you have, whether you have 1 or 30 or whatever, but going forward, you would not be able to get a permit for it anymore. Those would be out there for other people who wish to come in and for the benefits of their income.
Okay. So we have a motion and we have a second.
It's only capping non-primary residential. It's not capping any other form of short-term.
My only problem with this, I like the idea of having a wait list, is that we're gonna have to create something that we're gonna have to work with the administration on who's gonna track it and how they're gonna track it. So at this point tonight, on this matter, I will not support that until we do some research. But that would be up to you to speak with the administration and work on how we can make that happen. I don't like making promises of tracking things that we can't. So that's why I won't support this tonight.
Again, I go back and forth with this one and H. The number 5, like the cap at 500, you know, I think one of the things that Council Worthy's always been asking is, you know, how many are out there currently, and, you know, we always say we're going to collect the data, whichever way you want to say it. And I don't never want to take any money out of people's pocket. That's why I sort of like the
Right, but-
grandfathering and.
Right, and anybody that has units now, their life is going to continue on status quo. Not gonna change. It's only additional people after, you know, however many are left of that permit, which I believe would probably be significant because of, you know, not all of our short-term rentals are non-primary. A lot of them are probably have, you know, a part of the house or room or whatever, so I think we should have an exact number. You know, and I think a lot of this entire thing is, you know, there's a lot of gray area because we don't have all of just the numbers that have been given to us from the state.
So I believe the number is less than 400 in Gloucester right now. Is that correct?
504,
What's that?
504
That's
last
total,
week. with the
total
state.
units or
It's 500.
That's on the
4
state,
units.
that's on the state's website.
Okay.
is that total units
Total
or
units.
total units? So that doesn't give a breakdown of what are non-owner occupied,
Right.
which is, this is only applies to that.
Okay, so this is something, you know, we can vote on and we can certainly gather more information on it.
I like the idea. I'm not gonna support it yet till I get a little bit more information.
Fair enough.
Okay, so on a roll call, not a roll call, but all in favor?
Yes.
No?
No.
All right, so it's gonna go through as one in favor, two opposed. Any next one?
Mhm.
Excellent. Alrighty, so this is gonna go to the council with the amendments. It's been very interesting to find out what's going on how this works. It's not a cut and dry type situation. There's a lot of people and citizens' lives that depend on it. It's been, and I don't wanna say no, but an awakening. We did a very good job, I thought, the first time. I think more people have gotten involved. And we'll find out when this comes to the full council. I wanna thank Michelle, so being here again, and everybody else. It's tough. There's not a lot of fun in trying to find a balance, especially when it comes to housing. And I know that you guys care about housing. It's not just a, you know, a greed thing or anything like that. It's a real thing, but there's also people that wouldn't have housing if we didn't have opportunity. So it's a balance. And I look forward to the full city council on hearing this. Council Worthley.
Thank you. Appreciate the work that the committee's doing. I just have a process question. I appreciated Council Grace's amendment. Where that didn't pass here, does that mean what was proposed is being recommended?
What's
Because-
proposed is being recommended.
So do you need a vote on the overall, like, so the amendments were very specific to a
Mhm.
couple areas. Then there was the council order I put in, that council sent to this
Mhm.
committee for review. Is that what we're voting on
Okay.
with the amendments?
So I'd like to send this to the full council as amended or not passed as amended. All in favor? Or second?
Second.
But you have to vote on the amendments and then you vote on the original.
Right, so we
You voted on
voted on the
the
amendments. Okay, so now we're gonna vote on the amendment as on the order as amended. Okay? So you read it, you moved it, we amended it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. So that's done.
That goes to public hearing.
Okay, just a quick question. At the end of the last O and A meeting, everything was sent to the legal department.
Mhm.
Was that reviewed and?
Legal did send us a review today on things. A lot of it was also to, here's a copy of it. If houses are left to people, if they're in a trust, and different things that carry forward, do that as well. I have another copy here. too.
I think it's got to be,
We get, yeah.
Oh, okay, thank you.
And the first one, when I asked 10 questions at the last meeting, he said, committee will answer, and I don't know what we're gonna do now. but, those are the questions I would ask again at the council.
You'd ask me for.
See if you do it.
On legal?
Other questions about, the impacts of what we have on the board, so we would, I suppose. I mean, I could do my own research and try to answer more questions.
You can bring in someone to speak. If you're looking for an expert in that field, you can ask anybody at public hearing. If there's conditions in the city.
But if he has to make the presentation, he gets the 10 minutes.
Right.
So I'll be presenting.
Yes.
So the questions I asked that we haven't got answered
Mhm.
can just be questions I can throw out for considerations too.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right. We're gonna take a 5-minute recess. And we're gonna go from there.
We are still recording. Let everyone know.
For the short-term rental.
Yes.
Thank you for your.
You're out of state.
Margaret for being studious. I mean, it's hard to understand it, you know. For me, each senior, you know, just put it all together. I appreciate the nice work on this.
It's understandable. What do we want? No, I mean, most of it. The registration was, I think, the other. Because if there is an amendment, it has nothing to do with, and I did mention 15. So right, I mean, well, and as it gets changed also, I mean, I don't think the registration will change at all. Asking for the exact same information. 61. Yeah. It's 500 on-council residents. Council people with the senior center. There's 3 categories. Senior. 3 categories. Bill Sherry. Senior. First of all. Just check. So they'll fill it up first. No, it's only 1/3, and obviously that's right there, it's probably 1/3. But this is something we could work on, I hope I think we can do it more, it's against 300. There's going to be a huge delta between that, for me to get a job, because I'm doing it. So like, right, but the other issues. See how price we just, right, well, it's like, yeah, the senior fills up the form of the council. I think it's still like. So I think that has unless you're for registration, just follow the registration is. Yeah. But I think the kind of we should, you know, just change it. I can pull it, I mean, that's I'll pull it kind of regional, because I would share it. But I could next go back. Just use that for the fun. So, so it's Here. I'm just, yeah. But anyway, like, to. You know. Dylan's crazy.
Yeah.
You
Thank
guys
you
are
all. We're back in session.
We take things out of order.
Yes.
Sure.
You want to bring Dylan's up first?
We'll bring Dylan's first, just to go comfortable with the other things.
Mhm.
And
Well, thank you. Do you want me to? I can.
let me read the motion first,
Okay.
I guess, and then we'll.
Yeah, sure. If you would like to, well, technically, it would be mine,
Number 6, CC 2025-012, Benson, amend GCO chapter 22, traffic and motor vehicles, section 22 through 270, parking prohibited at all times. And section 22 through 291, tollway zones by deleting Pleasant Street westerly side, beginning at the point of 130 feet from the intersection with Warren Street in a northerly direction for a distance of 25 feet in section 22 through 279, 30-minute parking. By adding Pleasant Street westerly side, beginning at the point 130 feet from its intersection with Warren Street in a northerly direction for a distance of 25 feet. Committee recommendation, move to recommend the city council city council amend the Gloucester Code of Ordinance, chapter 22, traffic and motor vehicles, section 22 through 270, parking prohibited at all times, section 22 through 291, tollway zones by deleting Pleasant Street, western side, beginning at a point 130 feet from the intersection with Warren Street in the northerly direction for a distance of 25 feet. From both recommendation. Oh, and I so move.
excellent. Okay, Council Benson, this has
Okay.
been put through traffic.
Yes.
They've agreed.
Yes, and
I was at the traffic commission, I thought they continued it
Oh, wait, this one did get continued.
because they wanted you there.
Right.
okay,
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, I was at the meeting, I just want to.
Yeah, no, there was one of those continued, it was this.
okay,
So we're not gonna take this up.
okay, you can continue it, okay.
And
I didn't see that.
I
didn't
I
put that
believe in
on,
it,
So thank
it's
you.
just that, you know, I wanna throw a little respect to the traffic.
No, that's fair, and
They
that's,
also had- they were gonna vote against it, and I recommend we hold off.
well, I appreciate that, Council Worsley. So what
so-
I will do is since I had a day job and was there, so I will, make sure that the next one,
It's an idea.
so, the next meeting that they have,
Yeah,
I
so
will
this
look
will
at
be
the notes.
continued until traffic hears it.
Thank you.
Sorry about that.
Or to be a month out.
Yeah.
So,
Okay,
I think it's
Does any
the
of
first Thursday of the month.
okay,
Oh, sorry, yeah, the last Thursday. of the month. Second week.
Sorry about that, Council Benson.
no, it's okay,
And I get, that's it for you tonight.
okay,
They sort of asked for an explanation, I was like, I didn't wanna knock it, but I also couldn't explain it.
yeah. No, I had sent them several emails about it and was mentioning that I'm not able to attend those meetings because of work, but I hadn't had the opportunity to look at their minutes. And then seeing it on this agenda, I thought that it had been on, so it's my,
Okay. Yeah, they did send us the file today,
okay,
so,
okay,
if you can't make it to the next meeting, you can ask any counselor.
Okay.
It could be
I can make
the
it on
counselor.
Zoom, I'll make it on Zoom because, so that will be fine.
Perfect.
So I appreciate it and thank you, Council Worsley,
Excellent.
for that.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Doris, thank
I will try, thanks. I had a whole thing prepared, so. But I guess I'll present it to them first, right?
All right, so next up, we have number 3, CC 2025-009, Workley Majota.
Number 5.
Yeah, it's number 3.
Is it written? What?
Yeah, you call the other one number 6, and number 4.
Read the wrong one. That's insane. Why did mine say 5? Oh, I'll go by you. You're the chair.
I know, you read my part. On number 4, you read your introduction, but then you read. But that's all right.
I didn't read a lot, so.
All right, CC 2025-009, Worthy Majota, amend GCO chapter 20 for traffic and motor vehicles, section 22-270. Parking prohibited at all times, section 22-291, tollway zones by adding Washington Street, easterly side intersection with Deacon Farm Lane in a southerly direction for a distance of 60 feet. Counselor Majota, you can go first on this, and this is a long time coming. This is something I think is gonna be good, and traffic did see this.
Yes, this was on. One of the people live on, the street, Kathy Worthy and I. So we work together on this, and primarily it is for safety issues. I was not able to attend the traffic commission meeting. Council Worthy did, so if he could speak on what they said, I'll back.
Excellent, Council Worthley.
So I'll be happy to report what the traffic commission said, and the genesis of us working together on this was a couple of people, and I think they might be on the call, but
They won't
Chancellor
be able to
DeMaio, a couple of people in the neighborhood. Deacon Farm Lane is a relatively new street. I think most of us are
Mhm.
aware of it. I grew up in Giab, which is literally, almost parallel with Deacon Farm Lane. And when you pull out, look left, look right, left, and people drive really fast. On Deacon Farm Lane, there's sort of a bend in the road where you look left and you look right, you look again, you could miss because if there's a car blocking your view, especially how fast people are driving up Washington, it's dangerous. And so they had put in a C-click fix, looking for like one of those mirrors that might help
Yeah.
with seeing. And that's not something that the council has any jurisdiction over, but also Mike Hale, or the DPW said that they don't authorize those.
They run upon mirrors.
Yeah, so this was sort of like a next best thing that we can do is make some lines of sight better. And, we love people to slow down. That's
number one.
number one, and this ordinance doesn't change that, but I don't know that any ordinance, except speed limit, enforcement would change that. So the traffic commission, we sent some pictures.
Speed limit is 25 on that, which is,
Yeah,
but
unless
I-
they
I
pull the
like I said-
driveway, no one's going 25.
no,
100.
yeah, exactly.
So, I went and I took some pictures. You are, right? I drive like a grandfather, even though I'm not yet, hopefully for a long time, but, where's the traffic commission? I took some pictures and I shared them with the council. I hope you all have seen them. And spoke to the traffic commission, last week. And they voted unanimously for it. They didn't have any questions. They actually thought maybe we need to go further. But this is like, let's see how this works and try to move from there. So, yeah, that's it. I'm happy to work with Council Bijan.
I don't see many people parking there anyway, that occasional.
Yeah.
Car that does park there, I think this, again, anything safety for the person going on the street or walking or anything, I think anything we do to make Gloucester safer is, what we should do.
No, and it's even tougher, people don't see all,
Right.
so
To this
it's.
point, we're not taking away parking.
No.
Like, if you live in the area and you want to park, there's driveways, there's more space further down. We just don't want it so close to the corner that you can't see.
No, it's a safety issue. I agree with this. Council Grace, do we have a motion?
Committee recommendation, move to recommend that the city council amend the Gloucester Code of Ordinances, chapter 22, traffic and motor vehicles, section 22-270, parking prohibited at all times, and section 22-291, tollway zones be amended by adding Washington Street easterly side at its intersection with Deacon Farm Lane in the southerly direction for a distance of 60 feet. And I so move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, excellent. So this will be moving on.
Thank you.
And so next up, we have number 5. CC 2025-013, Worthley, amend GCO chapter 22, traffic and motor vehicles, section 22-270, parking prohibited at all times, in section 22-291, tollway zones by deleting Main Street on a southerly side, police parking only being 80 feet from the intersection of Main Street and Duncan Street in a easterly direction for a distance of 120 feet across from the intersection of Main Street and Elm Street. All parking restrictions will terminate at the conclusion of the construction of the police court building, and all spaces revert back to public parking. So I think this is pretty simple, but Council Worthley, we just want to, bring back why we did this from the
Sure.
beginning and why we're taking it away.
Yeah, so, in retrospect, it might have been able to be done by administratively, just blocking off
Mhm.
parking during that time, but it was put in as an ordinance. And even though the ordinance says when the construction's done, it goes away. Well, it doesn't actually go away unless
We
you,
make it.
unless you delete the amendment. So we're not deleting Main Street. Whenever people read the ordinance like you did, which is perfect, I think delete Main Street, that sounds scary. Or prohibiting parking, we're actually opening up a lot more parking. I think it might be a dozen or 14 spaces.
It's right around there.
It's
Yeah.
going back to the
Original parking,
Original
yes.
parking before construction.
Yeah, exactly. So because it was put in as an ordinance, it needs to be taken out as an ordinance. And so traffic commission gave it its blessing. I think it makes sense. We know the project done. Police now park in the back or underneath. So, and lastly, this came to me from Lieutenant Mike Williams, who serves on the traffic commission. He suggested it. which makes it a lot easier to send it to the traffic commission when one of the members supports it already. But yeah, that's where it came from, that's where it went, and traffic commission gave a green light for you guys.
Excellent. Councilor Majota.
Committee recommendation, move to recommend the city council amend the Gloucester Code of Ordinance, chapter 22, traffic and motor vehicles, section 22 through 270, parking prohibited at all times, and section 22 through 291, tow-away zones by amending, by deleting Main Street southerly side. Police parking only, parking 80 feet from the intersection of Main Street and Duncan Street in a easterly direction for a distance of 120 feet to cross from the intersection of Main Street and Elm Street. All parking restrictions will terminate at the conclusion of construction of the police and court building, and all spaces will revert back to public parking. And I so move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, excellent, thank you. So number 6, CC 2025-015 Worthley, amend GCO chapter 22, traffic and motor vehicles, section 22-274, 2-hour parking between certain hours by adding Town Landon parking lot, also known as St. Peter Square, with the exception of 2 loading zone areas and 3 handicap parking spaces, is to be withdrawn.
100% withdrawn.
Yep. Matters to be continued. We have 1 boards and committees, commissions for new appointments for open space and recreation advisory to Tomra Basir. And number 2, Council Grace amend GCO chapter 22 traffic and motor vehicles, section 22-270, parking prohibited at all times, and 22-291 tollway zones by adding parking prohibited on Bertoni Road, easterly side from its intersection with York Road to its intersection with Poplar Street from November 1st to April 1st. And I'd like to have a motion to
We're gonna adjourn.
adjourn.
But hold on, do you need to take a vote to accept the withdrawals?
We can, let's actually do that. Let's, on number 6, we'd like to make a vote to withdraw,
Accept the withdrawal.
accept the withdrawal.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You didn't say without prejudice, and I'm okay with that. It's gonna be with prejudice.
It's withdrawn.
No.
I think that it's not gonna be there.
It's not coming back.
So if you wanna bring it back, knock
No,
yourself
it's not
out.
coming back. I had to thread a needle to get out of that craziness, but I think I did.
All right,
I will thank Margie Grace, Dr. Grace for attending the meeting last week.
and do I have a motion to adjourn?
You do.
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, excellent. All right, thank you.
Good meeting.
Who's gonna be closest to City Hall tomorrow that wants to do that stuff?
Actually, closer to you, closer.